Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Celina Cordobael, and I wanted to welcome and say hi. Welcome back. I'm back. I'm so grateful to be here, you guys. I just came out of 90 days of, I call it the reboot, where I really didn't go on social media, even though I do post on my Instagram page. I kind of made a commitment to myself is to not look at anything except for what it is I was going to post before I went to sleep at night. And it wasn't necessarily a selfish move, but for me, it was something that I wanted to pull back and just kind of take time to assimilate into my own energy, into some shifts that I had made a couple years ago. And, we always talk about shifts, but there's a wave that comes after any major shift. And I don't think that at the time I was really aware of how it was going to change, how friends related with me over the last 15 plus years, and just certain expectations that I think I might have not even been aware that I might have committed to or um, allowed myself to be known for. So the last 90 days, I made sure that I just woke up every morning, homeschooled my son, but also rolled out of bed, which is literally right here. I sleep right here, and this little bounce is my son's bed. We share a room. And I think for a while, I was dealing with issues of just not being proud of myself in certain developments and certain, junctures in life. I'm 40 now, and I think that in my 20s and in my 30s, I was in a space of just really dealing with a lot of energy that wasn't necessarily mine, but after losing certain energy and having family shifts, I lost my mom my sophomore year of college in a very traumatic way. And I became homeless the year that she passed. I used school as a crutch, and I went back to the dorms, and I got in a place in Syracuse and all that, but I literally didn't have any family, and I didn't have anybody to come home to. And it kind of shifted my entire adult life in the sense of, we don't hope to have a difficult, springboard or a difficult initiation into adulthood. Most of us have, hopefully some family support or someone in our corner to just, tip us to certain things or just guide us a certain way. And to make the reality of the blow of rent and bills and finding a place and all of these adult things that I'm sure everybody's experiencing, I didn't realize how taken care of and how kind of spoiled I was by just having a mom that never had me worry about where I was going to sleep and what I was going to eat, and who always, did my laundry and took care of me. It was so traumatic that it incurred like a hospital malpractice suit. And, it allowed my sister and I at the time to be kicked out of our homes. And I think that at that age, at like 19, becoming homeless and having all the responsibility of a grown up kind of put on my shoulders at that age really took me on a journey of just wanting to take care of my sister, wanting to put certain things in order. And I wasn't the focus. I didn't, think of, okay, well, what can I do creatively, even though I was in school for theater and even though I had considered myself an extremely creative being. I think my life just went a journey where I was very aware of certain things that, sometimes they say innocence is bliss, because if you don't know, it's not like you got to do something about it. After the whole malpractice stuff and things in my life, I just really was aware of the weight and of kind of like the inconsistencies that weren't necessarily taught to me in college, and certain things that I had seen and witnessed after graduating and having all these student loans and all this debt and all this stuff that was so grown up that it literally, the relationship that I was in at the time kind of shifted. And this goes into the top questions. I'm not even going to get into the speech. I'm going to answer these questions. What are 3 things that people don't know about you? The 3 things that people don't know about me, and this is what I mean by living my life in reverse. Most people do stuff like this when they first start their YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel 8 years ago when my son was first born, and I first moved out of Brooklyn, New York, and moved out here to Miami, Florida. Never been to Florida permanently, kind of visited a couple times, but to say I took myself out of the environment that I was really comfortable in and that I became accustomed to. So all that to say, I felt like I needed to because New York was crazy at the time, and the person that I had him with, my son's father, was attracting certain energy that not only wasn't his fault, but wasn't necessarily of lightness, and was causing a little bit of heaviness in my life in a way that I kind of knew. Take these unemployment checks and at least get into an environment where you don't feel all this dogma, all this energy, all this negativity. So I started my channel 8 years ago, and it was cooking more with less. I still am definitely going to bring you guys some recipes, but after contributing and doing that for a couple years, I really wanted to take a step back and think about my life on a whole, and think about how much I've supported other people's visions and dreams, and also how I just got very used to taking care of adult responsibilities, that, you know, paying rent and making sure that I kept the lights on was more a peril than, you know, sometimes taking a little time off to just complete a creative project or something. So all of this to say is I had an enriching 20 and 30s, really, really amazing life. Kind of went a way that I didn't expect it to go, but met amazing people, contributed to my culture in ways that I can't even continue to be grateful for. And my family are Panamanians. We all, or they all were from Panama. I was first born generation here. And I grew up in Brooklyn with my grandparents, my grandmother and my grandfather, and my mom and my sister. So we very much had a very enriched life of just Spanish being the language in the house, and, you know, me being very aware that I was a black woman, but that I had a nationality and that we were Moors from Cordoba, which is my last name. So for me, that's one thing that people don't know, is that I had always been aware of my culture and lived it prior to what people probably, you know me for. So that's one thing. The second thing, how many boyfriends? I've had 2 boyfriends. You guys know my son's father. And I had one boyfriend before that, and I was with him for 8 years. We were with each other all of high school and all of college. And then, mind you, my mom, that whole journey, it was very heavy. He was an amazing guy, but, you know, he met someone my senior year of college, and she made him happy, and they ran off and had gleeful joy. All of that's to say is that I've only been with 2 men in my life. You know, my son's father, I was with another guy once, and, you know, you got to include the one times for all those that say this don't count and that don't count. I don't know how people do that with their energy, but I don't really front about stuff like that because I don't feel there's a reason to. And if you're in a relationship, whether you are fronting or lying or whatever, it's gonna come out. So that's that. How many boyfriends? What's my middle name? Nigel. My middle name is Nigel or Nigel. I've never had my makeup done. That's one thing that I would love to experience. I've never had my makeup done. When you are on the journey that I just expressed, there was really no time to sit in front of the makeup mirror and just beautify and just think. Now that I'm 40, I've experienced greatness of just creating my own product line and starting to have time to just sit down and rub myself and dry loofah and all that good stuff. But to be honest, just drinking water and being a vegan and a vegetarian, probably at the age of, I stopped eating meat when I was 14. What kind of diet and foods work for me. I wanted to just share with people my journey throughout the years and just letting them know, more than anything, it's literally your personal journey. You don't want to listen to any outsiders of what you should be eating or what you shouldn't be eating. You know, I don't do a lot of vitamins. I don't do anything but juicing, drinking a lot of water, eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, some grains, all the basic good stuff. But one thing that I do, and I did want to share, is that so many people have been really, really kind to me as of late in just supporting the business that I started a couple years ago, Cordoba Organics. I cannot be more grateful for all the things that my grandmother taught me when I was living with her when I was younger. Not only that, but just to have the opportunity to say to myself, working and going to different jobs and, you know, getting my degree before I was 21 and, you know, getting my master's and all of these little things. I never necessarily have attracted a job with any of the degrees that I had. So I took time in my 20s to really just be on some studying all things that I always really wanted to study that I didn't necessarily have the time to do in college. Astrology, metaphysics. I took a body talk class. I taught yoga for years. The journey of just wanting to be healthy based on how I lost my mom was so indicative to everything in my life. Everything was a reflection of, all right, I injured my knees when I was 15. How am I going to not have arthritis and be in the pain that, I've witnessed and crazy stuff? And, all of it to say is that I really wanted to figure out a way to never be in the situation of feeling as though I needed, Western medicine to make myself feel good. And I also just became really aware of things that I didn't want to have, that I didn't want to consume, that I didn't want to feed my son, that I didn't want to have in my life, just based on what I learned about these things. And sometimes, you're so passionate about stuff that you kind of don't think, at least in my 20s and 30s, I wasn't really aware that talking to people about certain subject matters might have been a little preemptive, might have been a little before the wave of natural hair, might have been before. So all these things are to say, I'm so grateful that time and we all are in a different space now, and I say that to say, somebody says, what's the other? Why did you separate out of your relationship? Depression, anger, taking care of a lot of energy that over the years, I don't think that even my son's father might have been aware he was entertaining. And, when other stuff that's so personal and private that I would want to, keep it personal and private unless I was asked in an environment that his father was always also present, that he could address that. But no, I was the one that made the decision. And, after 15 years, I knew that it wasn't the smart thing to do and what people might say was the right thing to do. But I know in my heart, and I have such a deep connection with the Most High, that I never felt like I would be breaking anything by following my heart, by following what I kind of learned to understand, and just coming to the awareness that things change. People change. People become who God has intended them to be. And it's not for me or for anyone to stop anybody from pursuing or from pursuing what they feel they need to pursue in life. So women are very, very smart nowadays in knowing what they wouldn't entertain. And I didn't have any of those rules when I was 20. I was just grateful that a guy that was so intelligent and that understood, and we could read at night, that understood certain aspects of life. I was just grateful that someone trusted my nature and trusted, wanting to spend time with me. When a girl doesn't have a mother or a father to validate their existence, or, all men want to know what type of home a woman comes from. I got kicked out of my house on the night of my mom's funeral. Well, what's wrong with your family? And what's wrong with you? So all these things took place, and I just didn't want it to define me forever. I didn't want all of that to become who I was going to allow myself to be. I really wanted to shift my energy. And I say that to say I wanted to get back to a place of lightness. I wanted to create something that not only was on some script theater stuff, but create something that I could share and communicate with people about. Talking to people about certain foods and certain stuff that I had realized when I first cut my hair and I was 22, 21, being so passionate about, not perming and not, doing certain things. And it wasn't because, I was anti lace fronts and weaves, and I was anti the chemicals, and I was anti the aftermath, and I was anti the fibroids, and I was anti the migraines, and I was anti all of the Western inundated nastiness that comes with these Nuremberg infiltrated products, foods, all of these things that are strategically placed in our lives and in our necessity corner, when in actuality we don't need these things. So, I came to a point where moved out here on unemployment checks, and I don't want to wait tables anymore. You know, I don't want to have to teach in a yoga studio where, you know, people are going to be competing or might feel sense of jealousy because I have a popular class. You know, all these little things that I didn't realize, because when you're growing up, you're supposed to have parents and you're supposed to have a cushion and you're supposed to have, even if you don't, you're supposed to have at least somebody in your corner. We all would want that for each other. So when I see young women that have that, when I know young people that are in a space of being able to pursue their dreams and not have to take time out to, you know, take care of things that aren't necessarily in their corner, is to say I'm grateful and happy, because you're supposed to have that, women. I'm taking off my thing because I did my hair. And all of this is to say I started Cordoba Organics at a time where I didn't have any way to pay my bills on my own. I wanted to get my own space. I wanted to pay my bills. I'm just showing you guys because I tied it down, and when you tie my hair down, and you don't see all the little gring, 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 grings. But I'm showing you my hair because I have really, really thick hair. It's literally like, let me see if I can bring this up so you guys can see all of this. Yes, you can. It's literally like, it's like my son's hair, but locked. And I say that to say, I couldn't find any products that would like make everything so emollient and wonderful. I didn't find anything that I could put in my hair that didn't have PEG 40, that didn't have a whole bunch of chemicals, that didn't have a whole bunch of stuff in it that was going to destroy my hair over time. And as you can see, I have really thin hair, which is why I didn't grow my locks in a way where I was going to be palm rolling or anything else. So, you know, it's going through a stage where like literally the roots have come up and it's like an afro underneath here. So in tying my hair down, you guys can see how springy and how curly and how, you know, lubricated it is. Locks need a lot of moisture, and my hair definitely needed that in order to feel like it was, you know, bouncy and pretty and all of this stuff. And none of the products out there were doing it, nor was anybody really interested in buying stuff that, you know, at the time that, hey, we're going to keep with these products that we get at the dollar store and this, that, and the third. And I understood why, but I was like, nah, we have got to get to a place, Celina, where we create a line so that when you sit and you talk to people, you can actually offer them and give them a replacement for Lubriderm, for all of these companies that are still making stuff with mineral oil and still like fooling the masses and believing that this is the way to take care of your skin and your hair, when these are why women are having stillbirths. These are why women have, you know, such horrible headaches, because they're using stuff in their hair to, you know, keep their baby hairs on fleek and all of this. But there's a way to do all of that without, you know, having the side effects of fibroids and headaches and your hair becoming lost, because, you know, your scalp literally is burnt, it's destroyed, all of the chemicals that are in everything in a dollar store. It just made me so angry. And I grew my locks as a way to preserve what I knew might take place in the future after having certain treatment and after, so you guys could see. This is Vaselina. Vaselina is an amazing product. It's like hair gel, but you can use it on your body because it doesn't have any parabens or anything else in it, and it has everything that I put on my skin in it. On him again. That you can use on your hair. And as you can see, you see that little spring, all of that. People don't think I do my hair, but I really do. If I were to take it apart, do you see all this? Do you see how like it comes? So what I do is I just, you know, I wake up and I just twist the roots. I twist the base and the roots around each other so that they basically kind of stay in some type of formation and just don't look so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm very aware I'm pulling all the little springies up so that you guys could see how it works. Hold on a second. But Vaselina is a product that I hope everybody gets to check out through cordobaorganics.com. I said to myself, this is not, okay, here, this is perfect. Hold on a second. So you see this? All of this is straight new growth and just so much. But instead of pulling it and pulling it into my existing lock, I just let it rock and I grease it and I wrap it around, and then I can freak this and throw this up into a nice clip, and then throw that up, boom, bam, bim, and then just thing that little and hinkinkinks, and it's my hair. So, my whole thing was, I want to be able to grow my hair and to be able to see some health and some shine and some growth and all of this. So I wanted to create products that I knew was going to do the job. And Vaselina is amazing. You see this thick ass lock? This is one of my favorite locks because I remember the story behind it and how it formed and all of that. And that's what's great about having locks. So many women are like, isn't it boring and isn't it? I'm into consistency. I'm a little older now, so I went through the blowout stage and all of that. And my hair locked naturally after just washing it and keeping it fresh and all of that. It just locked naturally. So I kind of rocked with it. And then my hair locked really thick because I didn't break it apart and separate it to make it like look the way that I thought in my head it should look. I just let it do its thing. And in that, I wanted it to be as healthy as it could be and as happy as it could be. But I also wanted to be very honest in saying to myself, there's not going to be anything that's going to do it unless you've created and figure out a way to make it yourself. So I just washed Amoor's hair. So I wanted to show you guys just kind of like how it works from like an Afro type state. But as I do that, it's just to say, this is one product that I hope gets spread. Be in an environment that was conducive for the lifestyle and the things. I'm going to try to show y'all a different style. The lifestyle and the things that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So how do you do that? You got to take some time off sometimes and say, okay, let me create something. Let me, if I want to act or whatever, let me finish a script. So I'm grateful that I've been able to take some time to do that. But all that's to say, I ride a BMX bike. I have a 1-bedroom apartment. My kitchen is not the most amazing kitchen, but all of these things were excuses that I was creating for myself is to not share my space with you guys or to not do things inside because I share a bedroom with my son and the cabinets in my kitchen look like they're melting. But I have no student loans. I don't owe anybody any debt. I have no debt over me. So I can only go up. And when you start to think like that, I am praying to be on the journey with you guys and just show you, look, I'm in a better place now. I'm in a bigger apartment. I'm in a whatever. So I'm showing you all this. Hold on a second. Let me get my... So, and I have a lower resonant voice, so it'll sometimes sound like I'm really... Oh my gosh, I have it right here. Look at me. I'm bugging. Come here, sweetheart. So this is to show, because I just took all my greatness out. Say what's up.
Hey.
Hey. So this is to show, like I literally brush, as you can see, like I'll do that. Then I'll brush this up. This one with his cuteness. I'll brush that up. Then I'll brush this up. Put that on a little kinky kinks. Have my little curls popping. Because that's what I'm working with. I can't work with, lace fronts and weaves. And I can't act like I know how to do my makeup and be on some makeup stuff. So what do I want to do? I want to combine forces and hopefully attract people that want to try great organic hair products and want to try skincare products that are going to bring out all of their browns and all of their tones and all of their beauties. This is my new lock that you see how I'm working on it, right? Because all of that. Sometimes people's like, oh, girl, you should just cut. I'm not going to cut my hair because it's my hair. Let it do its thing. And that's the next thing that locks taught me was to just be really, really patient and to not have this expectation of what I think my hair should be doing right now. Like, I just play around with it and make it work for the day. And then go, okay, tomorrow is another day. And what's so whack right now is I don't have any of my clips here that kind of keep it in its nice little kinks. But that's all right. So you see that? We're going to thing. Then you could do all of this. Bring your little wispies down. This one. All right. So I wash his hair. I do Amoor's hair in sections because he really hates getting his hair done. Like, okay, and you see all this that's coming out? What you do with this Vaselina? What you do with this is, you see that? All that curl? So what I do is I just wrap it around and it's like complete frizz control and all that good stuff. So I wrap that around and let me put this in its place because what I usually do, y'all, is everybody with the fleeks, I do all of that. I do all of that and create all of that and all of that, right? But the way the lighting is, it's not the best, but we're going to work with what we got. So, Vaselina, CordobaOrganics.com. It's literally like, you see all of that? It's hair gel. I was really good in chemistry when I was a little girl. And I just took time. Instead of making recipes that I knew, recipes are there to be shared. People are supposed to copy and do all of that good stuff. But I wanted to create something that wasn't a cookbook, that wasn't, no disrespect to the cookbooks that can come too, but I just wanted to do something a little bit different that kind of represented my family, where I came from, all that good stuff. So this, come here, Amoor, let me show you. Amoor's hair is so beautiful because, he never got a perm at 14 and 15 and did the stuff that I accidentally did and all that other good stuff. So what I'm going to show y'all real quick, this is the rosemary. If you guys are on the website, I have a product called Rosemary's Baby. And all I do is put aloe in this bottle and some water. And this towel is right here for you, boo-boo. Here you go, handsome. So all I do is just put the aloe, like fresh aloe in a bottle. And then this rosemary. Oh, you're so sweet, Amoor. And the rosemary inside. So you guys know the power of water on hair. What I do is I just moisturize it because Amoor is so tender-headed. It really does bother him to get his hair combed. So instead of really going all out and hurting him, I'm just going to take a squeeze of the rosemary's oil and a little pomade of the Vaselina. See all that thickness and goodness? And I'm just going to go in. Now, all of this, none of it creates whiteness in his hair or any, flaking and any of that stuff. It's just really good. So if you can turn, there you go, boo-boo. And that was a lipstick that I had on. That's not dirt, okay? We are not working with dirty towels up in here. But this is all I do. So as you can see, his hair goes from frizzy, I'm gonna show y'all, frizzy to really like, there's no residue, there's no anything. The rosemary gets it really, really curly and like amazing. And I know you don't like the brush, let me thing it. But after you shampoo your child's hair, and it's for boys and girls, because that's another thing. Having a boy, I wanted to create a whole line of products for your face and for your body that could be used by men as well. So all this, the glitter stuff and the Formica, all of that can be supplemented as long as you know the proper herbs to include in your stuff. So I just took some time to really study that. Society. I was also very much aware of certain loans, certain stuff that no one kind of told me when I was, in my early 20s. And I think that in discovering certain stuff and just realizing like, wow, certain things in society are really kind of set up for people to fail so that they could succeed. And that journey of doing just that, failing so that you could succeed, isn't something that I really wanted to act like I was immune to. And I didn't want to act like, people don't go through and stuff. But at the same token, I didn't want to keep on thinking about all the things that we just talked about and stay in that rut. Right, Amoor? Mm-hmm. So let me just wrap this up. And what's so corny, I said I got to be prepared because I'm right in front of my bed. So I literally have everything on the bed. And I didn't bring my little clips and stuff, but I usually have like a nice little rubber band so that when I pull my hair back, you can kind of see all of my stuff. And then, I don't even have a toothbrush and all that good stuff right now because we don't really need it. We're just going to show the basics, right? So all of us to say it's healthy, it's clean, it's whatever, right? So same thing with the Amoor's hair. Can you turn around a little bit more? So he has 4C, 3C. I don't even know the C's anymore. I'm out of the ABCs. But what I am into is the thankfulness. When I started the business, I didn't even really have any money for a label. It literally started from people being like, you got to make that for me. You got to bring me some of that. And that was so encouraging because it's like, wow, I'm worried about getting a job and looking for a job. And people don't really care about what they ask me at job interviews is if I could cut my hair. can you cut your hair? You mind if we ask you to let that go? And I just felt like, let that go. Like, are you gonna replace all of your, stained teeth? And these are people that have, people to people jobs. No one's telling somebody to go get their teeth fixed. So what's wrong with my hair? And why can't I have my own hair? So throughout the years, you see this? Hold on a second, Amoor. Let me just turn around a second. So you can see, I usually don't brush it because brushing it makes it really frizzy. But I'm trying to show you guys just the length based on me just, got a little piece of towel on it to the end. Just the length and the fact that his hair is down in his bum. You see that? Hold on a second. And this is a boy who don't get his hair done because I only can do his hair once every 2 weeks. You see that? His hair is like down in his bum. There is no breaking in edges. There is no inconsistency in his curls. He is a boy though, so I can't just be on some, oh, look, y'all. Let me show y'all his, he'd be like, mommy, put this, what are you doing? Put my, right? You don't like your hair out, right? So his face looks so thin, but we're like, you know how you have come from a family of serious face people, but y'all are mad happy? That's exactly the type of family I come from. I come from a family who always look like they thinking about something. They just processing. But that's the way my mom was. That's the way my dad is. Like, we just are very passionate Panamanian people. And both my parents are from Panama. So, I say all that to say, this is the greatness in the Vaselina and in the Rosemary's Baby. And I didn't even put hair magic in this. Hair magic is literally magic for your hair. It's the rosemary. It's all of this, but with a little bit, it has a little bit of green tea matcha and pumpkin seed butter to kind of seal your roots. And it's the one, you see all it is? I love his hair. And he hates getting it done. But I love it because it reminds me of my hair before I locked it, before I destroyed it with chemicals. So ladies, supposedly there's a movement. Let's get it popping. Let's get these products out there. Let's support each other's products. Somebody's like, yo, you not think, honey, I buy more than one brand of toothpaste. I'm not care. I'm created this for people to have options. Hold on a second. Oh my God, baby, you look so beautiful. So see that? Nice. And that's the thick part of his hair. Hold on a second. So I'm just gonna thing this. When I do the front part of his hair, it's incredible because, hold on a second, Amoor. I didn't watch this part. I know. But when I do this to the front part of his hair, I literally like showing people from the dry to the moist because, we have thick hair. It's not like some people are like, ooh, he's this. No, his hair is mad thick. It's just what you put in it. It's how you take care of it. So I'm going to let you go. Go ahead. But all of that's to say is that I wanted to show you guys just different hair textures because, bye, baby, because I have locks. So people always assume, oh, she got locks. She don't understand the journey. No, boo-boo, I had perm, blowout, doobie, bobby pins, all of it. I just reached a point, again, being through what I went through and going through certain stuff. See this nice little spring? This is me literally because I'm in this month y'all gonna get the shampoo and the toner. I got a couple new products coming out, but every day I said, instead of going crazy, all you have to do, meaning going crazy with marketing and the fact that, I don't have a huge team and it's just me in my house and how am I gonna spread the news? And I literally have texted and emailed everybody that's purchased a product from me in the last, year, because it was different when I first started. I didn't even know how to put up photos on my website successfully to show the product. And I didn't have any money to pay someone to do all that. So I took my time and it did not start the way that I wanted. But like all things, you chun. You start a little and you hope, keep creating, keep doing it, keep whatever. So I say that to say there is an entire organic line of products. What I'm going to do, I don't use a whole bunch of shea butter. Everything is jojoba, calendula, macadamia, almond, rosemary, all fresh herbs. I'll start to share a little bit more, but my patent and my process is also that. I laughed and I said, look, I can share recipes all day for food, but I'll let everybody know the ingredients, but the actual recipe for this is how I combine the products together and how I blend it, so I know that no one else is going to have this consistency. No one else is going to have this goop, because I know how I created that. So there's room for everybody. What I want to do is employ people, open up a Cordoba Organics in New York. This is the first year that I'm going to return back home to just live for a year, just so that I can meet people, so that I can exchange energy, so that I can cast this script. We are amazing people that have so many stories to tell that aren't just, downtrodden with, all of the things that they're trying to pump into our children's minds, into our belief system. We are a constant people of change. We are more than what we give ourselves credit for. We have the ability to be okay. And I say all that to say, my labels weren't great yesterday. Hopefully they're better tomorrow. But I'm so grateful that I have at least a line of everything from eczema to psoriasis to pimples. And I'm showing you guys my face up close because I just got a mosquito bite that I thought was a pimple. And I'm like, it's itching, boo, because it's a mosquito bite. So all of this is to say, in the next week or two, you guys will see this fade because I'm going to put all my product on it and I'm going to make sure I fade it. But that's all I want to do, is create products that replace eco whatever, that replace styling whatever, that replace all these products that are giving us ailments, and replace them with good stuff so that people can say, I didn't even need that hair gel. I got something better and my hair is growing and my skin is healthy and I got a little orange glee glow. All it is herbs and how you concoct them and put them together. So please visit Cordoba Organics and please like my video. Please comment. I'm going to start to respond more. But to be honest, I wanted to shift out of being so sweaty and doing so much heavy work and start to do what I've been taught, which is to literally think lighter, be lighter, keep your melanin in your darkness, but take that book bag off. Take that weight off that wasn't even yours to carry. You carried it, you learned, you grew, you know how to get to the top of the mountain, but how do you expand? How do you create opportunities for other people? How do you create solutions for all of our skin issues? How do we encourage little dark-skinned girls like myself to not want to bleach, to not want to look like this, that, and the third? We have to have the supplement. We have to have something to supplement what we were so conditioned to feel like we needed. So, all the encouragement. If you guys even know these movements, it's not to say I'm trying to stay ignorant. I would love to know what's going on, but I am not even plugged in like that. I literally homeschool my child from morning to night and take him to swim every day. And so I thank you guys for being on the journey and coming into my home tonight and for being introduced to some of the products. Tonight was Vaselina and Rosemary's Baby. Tomorrow, I will introduce and share some more with you guys. So thank you so much. Peace.